Right, guys. Funny thing, actually, I was actually thinking of I was actually missing not reading Boku No Heroes on Saturdays because a couple of chapters ago it used to get released on Saturdays. Like, I don't know, maybe it was around chapter 25 or around those chapters. It used to get released on Saturdays, and I loved it getting released Saturdays evenings because it was the highlight of like my evening. I was like, yes, some Boku No Heroes. So it was pretty cool. So it was pretty cool that it came out today. For chapter 32 of Boku No Hero Academia, I don't know why it got released today. I'm guessing I don't know if it's going to get released from Saturday from now on. I doubt it. I guess it's probably going to get released next Monday. Not this Monday coming, but the next Monday after that. So we have to probably wait extra long. But I remember at the end of this chapter, they said for 2 weeks or something like that, there'll be color pages, so that's gonna be freaking awesome. I love how nearly every 3 weeks Boku No Hero gets a color page. It just shows you how popular this series is. So yeah, this chapter pretty much is about the one-on-one battles. It's the last, I think it's the last stage of the Super Sports Festival kind of thing. So this is a one-on-one between all the 16 people that got in, because there was 4 teams that got in from the cavalry battle, and on all 16 of them, they have to fight each other off one-on-one, like a kind of a tournament kind of thing. So, we just basically find out who's fighting, and we get introduced to a lot of new characters. Well, we didn't get all of their names, but we got, Mashiro Ojiro or something, I can't remember his name, but his quirk was a tail, and he could use it for like movement and has strength and everything. But he resigned from the tournament because he didn't feel that he was worthy enough, because he didn't really manage to get in due to only like his quirk. He only managed to get in like the last 10 seconds due to shinsou. And I think that's the first time we get known of his name. And Shinsu is the guy that looks like Gaara of the Sad from Naruto. I think he's got grey hair, because we saw on the colour page. He's got like wild grey hair, and he just looks like he's always tired. He just looks like he's pretty much high, He looks like he's high. And that's pretty much the basic description I could give you. But yeah, and the reason he only managed to get in because of him and his quirk. We don't really know what his quirk is, but I've got some ideas about his quirk now due to seeing what he could do in this chapter. So we find out about some people that are like facing off in the one-on-one battles. I can't remember who Todoroki was fighting actually. I need to check that again. I can't check on me now because I haven't got my phone. But oh well. We know that Bakugo's fighting off Ibaraka, and I was finding it so funny when Bakugo was like, Ibaraka? Really? And then she just like screamed in the background. She's like, why? And we know that I find this is hilarious. This is probably going to be the fight that I'm just looking forward to. And it's Tetsu Setsu versus Kirishima. And they've basically got the same quirks, because Kirishima's hardening and Tetsu's skin turns into steel. So I'm guessing Kirishima's quirk is obviously harder. You get that pun right there? That pun was not intended, by the way. But yeah, I'm guessing his quirk is probably more tougher. I always thought it was diamond or something like that. That's what I was under the impression upon. But I don't know. I'm guessing it's just like the hardest. I'm guessing it's just a unique bio-organic material kind of thing, which is only he produces from his skin or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna be hyped for that one. We also find out that Ida is facing Hatsume. Is that her name? She's the one with all the inventions, and she keeps calling them her babies kind of thing. So I can't remember all of them before. I know that Tokiyami was fine. I don't know who the person was. I need to actually check their name because I can't remember. My mind's not bringing up her face. The thing is with Boku No Hero, it's got so much characters. That's why I love it as well. Well, to be fair, it's a hero academy for a school. But still, I love how we always get introduced to like nearly a different character every chapter. So yeah, at the start of this 2 characters, Mashiro and what's his name? Shuturo or something like that. I can't remember. Shuto. I think that's the way. I think that's his name. I might be wrong. But yeah, they resigned because they didn't really feel like they earned themselves enough with their quirk, and they believe that even if they fought in it, they'll just pretty much lose because their quirk's not the best. So yeah, we get to so we find out the matchups, and then Shinzo, he was like, "Oh, is that you, Midori? Is Izuku?" And then Mashiro told him not to reply. And in the next panel, if you saw, Mashiro put his tail across Izuku's mouth, and I doubt that Kohei done that, like the manga series. I doubt that he done that just because he wanted to draw his mouth. He did it because I think it's got to do with Shinso's quirk. But I'll tell you that off near to the end of this review. So we find out they're fighting. They're all training. They're not even training. Todoroki is just like, because whoever wins this fight, or Shinsou and Deku, they're gonna fight Todoroki. And Todoroki is thinking that Deku's gonna win because he doesn't. Because since Shinsu's in Class B, everyone thinks that Class B are just full of crap pretty much. They don't really think they can win. So, yeah, whereas we know that it's wrong because Class B's got some tricks up their sleeves, like that quirk, that copycat quirk guy. He was so sly, it was crazy. So yeah, we find out they're fighting, and before they fight, so they're all training. Well, they're not even training, they're just like psyching themselves up. Like the girls are cheerleading, and we saw a panel with Iraraka. She's just staring into nothingness. And I think she's scared. That's what I think. Or maybe she's just nervous, because it even said, like a monologue, that the narrator was saying, was that, fighting up their nerves or something like that. I can't remember, but she looked a little bit scared and nervous, because obviously she's fighting Bakugo. And I doubt Bakugo's gonna play it soft on her, because Bakugo wants to win. Bakugo wants to beat the crap out of Todoroki and Deku. So Bakugo obviously wants to be number one, and he's not gonna play soft on anyone. So he just basically wants to jump over people pretty much. So they're all psyching themselves up, and then Shinsou and Bakugo, they come to fight. And this is what gets me so hyped for the next chapter. This is why there's so much mystery. Maybe because I don't know if a lot of people have been talking about him, but I've been seeing it over like on their Reddit, on Boku No Hero Reddit forum kind of stuff, about what his quirk and ideas of his quirk. And a couple of chapters ago, when I first saw him, like ages ago, before the Sports Youth Festival, it was right after like Shigaraki and Nomu. After that fight, it was like chapter 21 or 22. And Class B basically came to confront, and he was the one that confronted him. The way he looks, and even in chapter 25, like in the racing, in that one, I can't remember what it was called, the obstacle race. After that, the way he was just talking, I always thought his quirk was with mind manipulation, or like telepathy or something like that. But I don't think it is now. I think it's some sort of it, but I don't think it's just straight out of telepathy. Because the way he was talking, before they fought, Mashiro told him not to reply to whatever he said. And at first, at face value, I thought it was just like, oh, don't listen to his like trash talk or anything, otherwise he'll get you psyched down and all that kind of thing. That's what I thought. And I read this chapter 3 times because I had to get this on point. I had to understand this. And this is what I brought upon it on my third taking. When they fought, Shinzo was like, he was basically taking the piss out of Mashiro, saying that they're the biggest idiots in the world for surrendering and all that kind of stuff. And then Deku flipped. This is when Deku switched. And at that point, Deku switched. Was like, what did you say? At first, I was like, alright, fine, he's just sticking up for everyone. Obviously, wants to be the hero that he wants to be. He switched in a second. And at that time, he ran. And he basically went to go full pelt to try and beat up Shinzo. But the next second, he was just frozen. Like, he couldn't move. It was all over. And that was the end of the chapter. And this is my ideas of his quirk. I've got ideas of thinking. I still think it's with mind manipulation, but I don't think it's by reading minds. I think it's just by literally controlling. And this is why, because of when Mashiro said not to reply to him. I believe that if you reply to him, and like if you listen to what he says and you reply, if you say something back, pretty much, that's when he can control you. That's when he can control your mind. All you have to do is reply back. And that's why a couple of pages before, Mashiro was covering Deku's mouth from not talking. So that's one of my ideas. The other idea is pheromones. And I believe it's got to do with, I just think he can control the body. Like, with the pheromones, by the way he talks. This is 2 reasons. Either the way he talks, he can literally, he can, like, produce pheromones which angers you. So this makes you, like, to, change your feelings extremely quickly, so that become angry really quickly. And so this is what made Deku run at him, and then he can control someone using the pheromones, or he can, there was another one where he can just literally control anyone, like their body. He can just control limbs, or like the nervous system, because by the talking, he can just be a crafty person. So he could just like, reminds me of, he doesn't remind me of Aizen, but the way Aizen talks, he's always so calm and collected, and every time he talks to someone, they always get pissed, and they always lash out and do something wrong. So, by him, the way Shinzo was talking to Deku, he might have just talked calm and collectively to piss him off, so then, when he was running at him, he could have controlled him. Or, the third one, which was the third one? For some reason, it was, like, to freeze someone's body. but I don't think that's going to be the one. I think it's something with. I generally think it's a mind manipulation, but I doubt it's just like, oh, I can control your mind. I think it can only be activated when you react to what he's saying in a negative way, because that would be an awesome quirk. That would be so sick. Because if you react to it in a negative way, then he can literally he can control you. He controls your mind, your nervous system, your body, whatever. And that's what I think his quirk is. Because at the end of the chapter, Deku didn't even know what was going on. He looked like he weren't even aware. He looked like he was like unconscious. He didn't look like he was aware of whatever was going on. So, because even after that, Mashiro was like, I told you not to listen to what he said. So it's obviously got to do with the way he's talking or his speech, or if not, it's just his persuasion which triggers something. And that's what I think his quirk's got to do with something. So pretty much this chapter was awesome. I didn't actually think it was going to be Deku off the bat, because this also reminds me of the tuning exams when they fight. I think it's the last stage when it's like one-on-one kind of fight and they're using all their jutsus, and pretty much. So I'm hyped for Boku No Hero Chapter 33, which I have no clue when it's going to get released, but whenever it does, I think it's going to have a colour page, and that just shows you its popularity in Japan, and I can't wait till we get some volumes in print. So tell me your thoughts about this chapter in the comments below. This is Shinigami Sam. Drop a like and subscribe for weekly Boku No Hero reviews. I'll see you next week, or next week Saturday, or next week Monday, for Chapter 33. See ya.